Welcome this new episode of Fierce Stories channel. As usual, before you start listening to the story, click on the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it before. And I wish you a pleasant watch. Before I tell you about my story, I must clarify that I have been working in Disney for years. Working to make the world a better place and make money from it, isn't that a good example? 6 years ago, I was employed in the City of the Angels, and I enjoyed it without any regret. The charm of that place is that we used to receive letters from the Zubanai, who mean to us every storm and storm. Things were going well until that day when I was complaining about a water tap in the water tap area. I heard a disturbing voice. "What is this curse change you made? You scared my kids?" I looked aside and I looked at the woman in a strange way. "What changes are talking about the hell?" "Tell her, we have not really added to what the Caribbean ships have, since you want to take the place." She replied, "Since December, I just want to say that the big moving fish robot has come in a dangerous way to the boat we were riding, and that's not reasonable. I'm aware that no fish is moving in this part of the game. The most important thing is talking to this woman. She paid for the 8 tours she did as she was working in the memory store at the Disney entrance. I called the officer in charge of that with a private communication device and told him about the complaint of the liars to answer me. "What are you saying?" "Okay, I'll be there in a moment. Go to the nearest resting room and I'll be there with you. And do as I say." After a minute of waiting in the resting room, the manager of my work entered to lock the door behind him and lock it with the key. This is not a legal action, but I know that he did this to make sure that no one will harm us. And we are taking the story. He said, "Did you mention that she saw something with water?" I answered, "Yes, she said that." "And did she say anything more than that?" I looked at him confused. I turned off my head and asked him what he meant to answer me. "I have heard a group of young people saying that they saw something similar to the sea waves in front of the Barbusa port and assumed that they were just a bunch of idiots. But if we have another complaint about this, we must inform the officials about the boat's phones." I went out with our manager and we received the internal tax for the mechanical control room, specifically for phones, where a young woman was running from the exit. She was in a panic and was in a state of shock. We brought her to the restroom to calm down. Then we asked her what was the matter. She tried to talk to someone, but she was shocked by what had happened. Then, after she had gone, she calmed down and turned around. I saw something that resembled a mixture of a fish and a human, long arms and a little bit of a beard. The eyes were big, and there were no nails. What you are seeing now is absolute madness. The water there is not that deep. I asked her, "What is the color of the fish's color?" She replied in a hurry, "No, it was not a color, it was a meat." 5 minutes after the incident, the water was closed. I wasn't authorized to ask about what they are doing here now, but my manager told me that they found a meat shop in the area. As I said before, I'm just a worker here, and I don't know about the investigations that were carried out regarding the calls of the Caribbean. After a few days, I moved to another part of Malawi to work as maybe they are talking about the space-time gathering system we put there, but they are not saying that these things are getting closer to them. It was strange, really, so I called the butt after I insisted on it. I told him that it was similar to what happened in the Mala of the Al-Kawarib tour. He asked me, "How did this thing start?" I said, "This is what I heard from the family as soon as they left, and I followed them to the exit to ask about what happened. But their reaction was as if I was accusing them of something, because my father replied to me saying, 'We didn't touch anything there, sir.' I answered immediately, 'No, I didn't say you did anything like that. I just wanted to know what they were talking about.' I was making them feel at ease and trying to convince them with my words that what they saw was one of the samples that belonged to this place and was not strange at all. Abu Kail was pleased. I don't know. It was something like It doesn't look like one of the statues or the one there, which is a long and narrow passage and a long and long path. I said, knowingly, that I knew it was there. Oh yes, that's the model. I will look at it later. I felt nervous, so I left them and went back to the security office to inform the criminal about what he told me. He told me the latter. I should go back to work and not worry about the matter. He will take care of everything. I waited outside, and what I was waiting for happened. The studio was removed and closed. After a few minutes, the first workers came, who were wearing the same costume. With their company, 8 men were carrying black bags and putting medical masks on. This does not give good news. I never saw something like this before. I still have no idea what's going on, although the studio manager told me that they found a piece of meat scattered in the theater of the magician Oos in front of the office. But this time, it was covered with a paper with our words written on it. It was as follows: "We are here." A strange week has passed since the workers' camp in Disney. Most of them say that they do not feel at ease after a while and think that there is something watching them for a long time. Some of them have left the place and I do not know where they went, so I did not hear from them. The number of guards has been increased to become bigger with every Disney's I wanted to satisfy my curiosity and know more. So I asked one of these guards, who had stopped at the entrance of the Great Kingdom, and he replied, "I do not know much, but they told me that I saw something suspicious, so I must contact the unification of the Zia workers immediately. Anyone who works here at Disney will know that these workers are something like the headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency, not the way you think. But if something dangerous threatens the safety of the angels, they are the first to intervene to protect them. The last time I encountered one of these accidents was 2 days before my retirement. I was in a night cleaning situation. When all the busy visitors left, I went to clean up the mess they left there. On this particular night, I was working alone. The lights here turn off most of the time, and some of the lights went out. A group of engineers passed by me because they had done a night investigation and fixed the lights. One of them said while passing by, he told me that there was a lot of work waiting for me because a bag of water in the back had been torn and the content had been scattered. I went to the place and it was on the right side, near the place that was hung over by I looked up to the black, dark-colored moth, but I could not see it clearly. It was out of the light's corner, so I put my hand on the belt, searching for the hand's mourning, and hurriedly lit the lamp to distinguish it. It is still not clear what it knows, nor do I see anything black. I called God. "Hey you, the place is closed, so you better leave tomorrow. I can't stop saying it. I can feel it moving from its place to become a closer angle. I prayed for it to shine so I could see it better. I wish I hadn't done that. It has already gone to the ground horse on its side. But its head was high, and it was like it was running. It started approaching like it was walking, and it was like it was moving. But he was very slow, and that made me sit far behind, waiting for the exit. While I was running, I pulled the special communication device and shouted, 'I'm thirsty. I'm asking for a single.' I stopped to take a breath for a minute while I was looking behind me, making sure that something was following me. In the meantime, one of the workers ran with a gun, and then others followed him. They searched and searched all the places. As usual, they found nothing but a piece of flesh scattered around with a written paper on it. 'We will not leave this place.' That night, they made me stay in one of the rooms of the hotel that is surrounded by angels. The workers were there. They ask me about what I saw: empty seats. They don't say anything. This is what makes me angry. Why do they hide the truth if they are sure about it? The dark workers here don't talk much, and their familiar faces will always be remembered because they never leave the place, while others disappear after a short period of time and no one remembers them. I immediately applied for the next day, and there was no relationship between me and Disney, and I never went there. A month passed, and I really missed that place and wanted to go back there. I asked and the workers there to stop me from doing my research for a new job. I didn't understand what the request meant, so I refused and resigned. Everything started there in a vague and dark way, until I didn't answer a single question or answer one question among many questions, which started to come to my mind, but finally, the game and the angels did not have the same charm and transparency that we think. Not everything we see inside belongs to it. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video, and as usual, if you liked this video, don't forget to press the like button and share it with your friends, and share the channel for more fun stories. See you later.